from Amanda and Bella Photography. I know everyone's crazy about unicorns right now, so I wanted to show you my unicorn sessions that I'm doing right now. My next one's going to be October 13th at Balmy Acres Farm in Middleborough. So you can see that on the screen on the left. And then I'm going to show you how I'm doing some editing on my photos that I've already taken. So hi, here I am in real life. And so here we are with this photo. Here's Balmy Acres Farm, Middleborough. And you can find their website and their address online. You can also find it on my Facebook events, Amanda and Bella Photography on Facebook, my business page, the events. You can find their address, and you can email me or Facebook message me to sign up. I also have Squarespace now. I think it's called SquareUp, Squarespace, whatever it's called. So you can sign up online as well for appointments. But that is going to be October 13th. So let me go ahead and get an image in Photoshop so you can see how I edit these, because experienced photographers and new photographers are both going to really appreciate how much editing goes into this. And you're also going to get to see how I use actions, because a lot of people have asked, how do you use actions and presets? So I'm going to show you how to do that. And if it takes a long time, these are 15-minute recordings. So if it takes a long time, we're going to do a part 1 and a part 2. So let me pull that up. Okay, so here we are with an image that I want to edit. So the first thing that I want to do is take away all the distractions before I put on any actions on top of it. So I should create a layer first in case I want to change anything. I often don't do that, but because it's what you should do, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You're going to click Shift J to create a layer, and I'm going to show you where your layers are. Just click layers, and here's your background. It didn't do a layer. So Command J if you're on a Mac. There's your layer. Then I'm going to just click this so I can go back and see my tools. And I'm going to use the Band-Aid tool to get rid of this blue rope. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and crop it first so I don't have to get rid of this piece. So I'm going to go to crop. It's going to show this crop border. And then I'm just going to crop it enough to keep the feet in. Like that. I'm going to try and keep the same proportions. This is a free crop. Actually, it should be keeping this 4:5 ratio, which is an 8:10. So that's a good shape. So I'm going to click with the check mark. Perfect. So now I don't have to get rid of it as much. It'll be a lot easier. So this is the size. This little circle is the size of my brush. I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I come up here and I make it a little bit bigger, 80, make it a little bit bigger. That's good. I'm going to start here, go the whole length of this, and then get those two little pieces and see if the computer can figure out what I want. Sometimes it doesn't get it quite right. Like right here on the horse's leg, didn't get it quite right. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit. Here, didn't get it quite right. Sometimes you have to go in and clone. I think it's good enough on the horse's leg, so I'm just going to leave it. Then back here, this is a lot in the back. And you could just leave it and say, that looks fine. If that looks fine to you, to me, I think it looks hideous. So I want to get rid of all of that. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to take this selection tool and make sure that it's on the positive. And I'm going to select all of this. And make sure it doesn't select anything I don't want. So it selected some of the horse, and I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. I'm going to select all of this and then go back with a negative tool and make sure that we don't have the horse's ear in there. And I go back with the positive tool and get the rest of that little shed. That looks good. Now we go to edit and fill. We have this at content aware, so it's going to take what's around it and try and fill it in. And a lot of times it does a halfway good job. So that's not bad. I guess we didn't select this whole thing, but that's fine. So then I go back in with the clone tool and fill in what it didn't get. So like this, it put in the dress instead of some bushes. So I'll go ahead and on your Mac, you select option and then select, and you just fill this in with what's around you. You don't want that red stuff. So you just reselect anything around there that you think would be a good match. I'm not really getting good matches here, but okay, so that's a good match. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe that was a portion of the, I don't know. We'll have to fix that in a minute. Okay. And over here, it looks like this little parts didn't get selected in that. But this is, it did a really good job of filling that in. Sometimes it does a really bad job. Oh, like right here. That's typical. It will, when it's close to the edge, it will fill in something weird. So see where this little X is? That's where it's drawing your information from for your circle. So you can see where I keep going back and selecting something else because I don't want what it's choosing from the X. I want it to sort of blend a little bit. So this is why I can take a little bit of time. Okay, so then I'm going to go back and add some more selection because I want this to be selected, this little piece, this piece, and this piece right here. And I'm not going to ask it to redo it. All I'm going to do is add in some more cloning. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger just to make it easier. And this is why people that are experienced might like this, because they'd like you to see how long this can take in the editing or post-processing portion for people that ask for their photos the very next day. And people that are new can kind of see a way to get rid of all this stuff in the background. There are other, if there's one way to do something in Photoshop, there's a million ways to do something in Photoshop. So somebody else might be looking at this and saying, wow, that is taking too much time. There's another way to do that, and that's fine. This is just the way that I found is the best way for me to do it. But if you have another way that you like to do it, that's awesome. So then I deselect all of this, and then I go back to this Band-Aid tool and I get rid of the line. Any lines that are here, here, here. Try and blend it a little bit. The computer's a little slow because I have so much information and data on here. So that looks pretty well blended. Then I might, if there's any little dots on the horse, I'm pretty particular, so I want to make sure there's nothing that might be a distraction. This, if I was going to show you the liquify tool, I would straighten this out, but I'm not going to show you that right now. So what I will show you is an action. So first I'm going to show you how to find an action. So let me go to a web page. So this is Greater Than Gatsby. It's one of many places you can find actions and presets. So MCP is another place. Florabella I love. This is one that's less expensive. there's a 20% off fall sale. I think I own every single one of their actions and presets. And what actions and presets are is a quicker way to do your editing. So you don't have to go in and fix exposure, shadows, brightening, colors, all of that one step at a time. These will do them for you in a lot of steps all automatically in one click. So Photoshop Actions, the one I'm going to show you is Radiance, Lightroom presets. Let's see what they have here. I don't think I have, no, I do think I do have Wedding. I don't have Darkroom. I have Watercolor. Hitchcock, I think, is black and white, so I might not have that one. I have Painterly Skies, and then they do have tutorials to show you how to use them and how to install them, which is very easy. And I'll show you how to do that. So let's go back to Photoshop. So you have an Actions palette, which you can go up to Window, click on Actions. I already have it. These are my actions over here. You can see I have a ton of them. And what you would do to load it is just go here, come on over, load actions, and then when you click it, it would find your actions and you would just load it. So you would just go and find it and then you would load it. So here, like I said, I'm going to use the Radiance collection. So I just find GTG, Greater Than Gatsby, Radiance collection. And the first thing that I do is I go to Clean Edit Color Base, because that just does all of your clean edits. You're going to see it's going to go right through everything that you need to do to start off. Okay, so here's your Clean Edit Color Base. I'm going to make sure I have it selected. I'm going to press play. It's going through the processes. Clean Edit Cleanup. It's doing histograms right now. And it's done that quickly. So you have your histogram fixer, your Clean Edit Darken. I like to add Lighten, a color boost. It lightens your midtones. It added warmth, contrast. A vignette, sometimes I take that off. Sometimes I take off the sharpen, which you can toggle with this eye. And you can see what it looks like without it and with it. So I like it with it. And I will always condense the layers before I go to another one. So I go to Layer. I go all the way down and I flatten the image. I keep looking down just at my time. So I want to finish this up. And then to make this one really light and airy, I go to Organically Subtle and I click play. And there are all these other options. You could go for sunlit, clean, light, and bright, all these other ones that are things that come with this action. And I can show you what else comes with this action. Rich sunlight, soft earth tones, and you do the same thing. You can toggle it on and off. You can put as many as you want and toggle them on and off until you get the look that you want. There's tones you can add, black and white, hazes, matte finishes, tints, fill flash, which is great if you have an image that is really shadowy. You can add vignettes. You can mellow some colors, and then sharpening is the last thing we're going to do. So here it's like a little bit too much I think I might take this buttercream off, and that is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and merge that layer, flatten it out, and then I'm going to sharpen it, and then we're going to be done. So I hope that you